Hey, welcome to the series of everything you need to know about Python in simplest possible way. In the series of pattern printing, so far we have seen so many patterns. In this video, we will see how we can actually print this particular pattern. So if you could observe this pattern carefully, here we are having these values as 5 and this 5 is repeating in this column and this 4 is repeating like this and this 3 is repeating like this and this 2 is repeating like this and we are having this single one here. So let us go ahead and see how we can actually print this particular pattern. So as we have observed, we have 5 rows here. I will take a variable which is rows and I will assign this rows with 5 because we have 5 rows, right? So later what I will be doing is that if you could observe this pattern carefully, we are having spaces before these numbers right here. So we need to print those spaces before actually printing these numbers. So in order to keep track of those spaces, I will use a variable spaces and I will assign these spaces with 0 because in the first row we don't have any spaces, right? So for that reason, I am using a spaces as 0. So to generate this many number of rows, I will use a for loop for I in range. So we will generate a range of values. And the question is, what are the range of values we are generating? So our main focus is at this last column here. So we need to generate these values so that in order to generate these values are starting with 1 and going till the value of I here, going till the value of 5. So for that, I will start with 1 and I will mention rows plus 1, which is nothing but 6. And this range function will start at previous value, which is 5. That is what we wanted. So in this, what I will be doing is that to know what are the values we are having this I will print the value I here. So as we have expected, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this variable I. So if you could compare this pattern with this particular I values, we are starting with 5 and going till the value of I, which is nothing but 1 here. And we are having 5 and going till the value of 2, which is nothing but the value of I here. So like this, we need to go till the value of I by starting with 5. So on each row, we are repeating this statement continuously. So as we have repeated statement, we generally use loops, right? So because of that reason, I will use one more for loop inside of this loop. So for j in range, so now what are the range of values that we need to generate here is that we need to start with 5, which is nothing but rows, and we need to go till the value of I. So because of that reason, I will mention I minus 1 and minus 1. So as we are reducing these values, I have mentioned minus 1 here. If we need to increase, I could mention I plus 1. So because this range function will stop the values at the previous value itself. So because of that reason, I have mentioned I minus 1. So in this for loop, what I will be doing is that instead of printing this particular I value, let us print the value j. And if I execute this, we can able to see the result as 54321, 5432, 543, 54 and 5 here. Like this, we are getting exact numbers what we wanted here. Later, the only thing we need to do is that we need to arrange these values so that we can actually get this particular pattern here. So for that, what I will be doing is that I will use an end parameter with a single space. By default, this print having this end parameter with new line, because of that reason we are getting everything in a new line here. So now if I execute this, we can able to get everything in a single line. So later what we will be doing is that after once we have completed this execution of this inner for loop, we will print nothing. So by default, this print having end parameter with new line character, and we will get that new line character after completion of this inner for loop. So now if I execute this, we can able to see the result like this. So we are getting almost same but exactly different. So for that reason, we need to print spaces before actually printing these numbers, right? As I have mentioned previously. So where we need to print spaces here is that as and when we enter into this outer for loop, if we could print spaces, we can actually get this pattern. So now I will use a space and I will multiply this space with spaces variable, and I will mention this end with nothing. So after that, what I will be doing is that if you could carefully compare this pattern, these spaces are increasing at each iteration on each row, right? So for that reason, I will increase these spaces with plus 1 on each row. So now if I execute this, so I can able to get the exact pattern that what we have expected here. Now I hope you can able to understand this logic to generate this pattern. So if you have confusion anywhere to get this particular pattern, I sincerely suggest you to go through this video once again so that you can able to understand it clearly. So now what we will be doing is that we will take input dynamically from the user. For that, int input, I am asking a user to enter rows here. So now if I execute this and it was asking to enter rows, if I give the value, let's say 3 here, and we can able to get this pattern. So now if I give the value, let's say 9 here, we can able to get this pattern, which is 9 starting here and going like this. 8 is going like this, 7 is going like this. Like this we can able to generate this particular pattern by any number given by the user. So I hope you have found this video interesting. If that is true, hit the like button. In the next video, we will see how we can actually print this particular pattern. In this pattern, we are having this 5 going like this, 4 is going like this, 3 is going like this, and these values are continuously going like this and having in the shape of diamond. So in the next video, we will see how we can print this particular pattern. So to stay updated, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notifications to all so that whenever I upload any video, you will get the notification. So thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.